Hi, this is Dr. Giudice, and I wanted to send a follow-up from the last email. First off, a lot of people had questions about the cortisol testing that we discussed in the last video. So I'm going to go over it one more time and discuss some of the different patterns that can occur, which I find most commonly. Now remember, measuring salivary cortisol is different than measuring in the blood. When you measure in the saliva, you're actually getting the free fraction hormones. And so that's what's usable. So it's a great way to do it rather than just take it in the blood, which you can do in the blood, but you would have to go multiple times in a day. So a couple things. What happens is when we run these tests through one of the companies that we use, you put saliva in a tube and you'll do it at predetermined times a day, usually 4 times in a day. And what's going to happen is they're going to give you an output number where they'll give you total cortisol. They'll give you total cortisol and then they'll map it out. So I put on here, this would be the range in here where normal would be. You would want to find yourself starting high cortisol in the morning and it diminishing through the day. When it goes down, cortisol goes down, reflexogenically, melatonin will go up to allow you to sleep. Melatonin going up also enhances immune function. So that could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on what's going on with you. But so what you want to see is something right in here. Some of the things that we see is it might be low. That could mean our total cortisol is low, and we can have abnormal rhythms. Meaning maybe it's commonly to see a spike in the afternoon, and those could be the people who have energy issues throughout the day. But those mechanisms are going to be completely different. Now, either way about it, you have to get down to the causes of what's causing the cortisol disruption. It could be anything from mental stress to chronic infections, food allergies, whatever. And those things are very common. But to get the rhythm in place, we have to understand that this is beyond the adrenal gland. So we can't just support it with adrenal gland supplements. And in fact, a lot of those people might get a little bit better, but it's a short-lived phenomenon. We have to actually deal with the rhythm at the level of the brain. Okay? So we can use herbals and glandulars and phosphatidylserine and all these compounds to do so. And you can use those without the test, but I think it's better to have a baseline. Measure it now, do some interventions, and then measure it again in 90 days. So if you have more questions on this, please let me know.